Hi, Jerome. This is Luke Middendorf at WSI Connect. Thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. As promised, I'm putting together a video about your website with a few suggestions around things that we think you could do to help improve it a little bit. Um, as I'm looking through your site, I get the sense that from a roofing perspective, you tend to focus more in on commercial projects than you do on residential projects. And the reason I say this is I was looking through the different items in your portfolio, and these are all different commercial projects. One of the things I would recommend is trying to move away from these little pop-up windows, and I'll show you kind of why within a customer example. So the Conco companies, these guys are a huge concrete pumping company. They have several offices up and down the West Coast, um, and we've been working with them for about 6 years now. So what we do is we consolidate the services into a single menu here, and then if somebody wants some specific information for something like concrete finishing, for example, they can click on the page and then they get a lot of information all about concrete finishing. So they get information that they can read. They can see some of the images here. They can see some of their locations. And then we've got some additional information around projects uh, that Conco has included concrete finishing in, along with some of the other services as well. So the reason we like to do this is it's really good for the end user who's trying to get information about the services that you offer, but it also is very good for search engines like Google, because Google can come to this page. It can understand that in this example, Conco is an expert in commercial concrete finishing. And so whenever people look for those searches, they rank well in Google, and they do get leads from Google related to commercial projects. So kind of getting away from these, and I would look through some of the content that you have. I was looking at your About page, and I thought it was interesting that you have a video here, so I took a look at it. But it looks like this is a company in Texas or something like that. And it looks like it was made a long time ago. And I noticed there's a lot of videos kind of throughout your site that are from other companies. And so this doesn't really add anything to your site. In fact, it kind of takes away from your credibility because people are looking at this and they're kind of getting a little confused. They'll see, you know, you're one particular company and they're trying to figure out what your relationship might be with the company in the video. So it just becomes kind of a little confusing to your viewers. And I would think about adding more content here specific to you and your business. We always like to have the owners and the leadership teams in the about sections. If we can add some pictures from your crew and stuff like that, that can help as well. Because a lot of times people will come to your website and they won't really know anything about you. They just know that they're looking for some type of service that you provide. Um, and so this is very often the very first impression that they'll have of you, your business, and the services that you offer. And so having things like pictures of the actual people that work for the business go a long way in order to help people kind of connect with you from a virtual perspective. There's a lot of interesting content here that could be kind of better utilized. This click here for service requests, I see this note, this goes directly to a phone number. Having a phone number here would be a little bit more effective than have click for service request because then people know exactly what they're getting into. When I clicked on this, I thought I would go to some type of contact form where I would be required to fill out some information, but instead it tried to make a phone call from my desktop, which doesn't work in this case. Having a phone number here is not only makes it a little bit easier for people to understand what they're doing. The local phone number, you've got a 916 area code, so people that helps people know that you're a local business rather than having some kind of generic toll-free number. And I would think about these testimonials as well. You probably have more than this, and so kind of adding to this. I'm guessing the content of this site hasn't been updated all that frequently. So those are a few things that you can do to kind of update this a little bit. Getting away from those pop-ups, I think would be a really good improvement in the overall user experience, and building out good portfolio pages so people don't have to drill into each one of these with some detail around that you've done on each project. So the other thing that I took a look at were your services and how they perform on Google. So I noticed that you've got this section here for inspections. And this one kind of seems like it's explaining to people how they should do it themselves rather than, if it's a service or not that you guys offer. This video explains to people how they should do it themselves. So I'm not 100% certain that this is a service that you offer, but if it is, I plugged it into Google just to see how you perform in Rockland. What we see here is if somebody's looking for a roof inspection in Rockland, you can see these first ads are the Google guaranteed ads. The second set of ads, these are Google Ads program. This third section here, this is Google Maps. This is pulled from your Google My Business listing. And then there's kind of the organic results. So you can see here, even though this would be a good search, if somebody was looking for roof inspection in Rockland, a lot of your competitors have the opportunity to get that lead, versus you really don't have any opportunity for that lead at all because you're not in any of these search results. So kind of restructuring your site a little bit so that there's content specific to all of your searches with a lot of information about how you guys help provide that service would go a long way to helping your improvement in the search engine, as well as kind of building overall website authority and things like that. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, I'd be happy to give you a little more information. You can always respond to the LinkedIn message that I sent you. There's actually a link to my calendar below if you wanted to schedule some time to chat. But hope this helps and looking forward to connecting with you. Thanks.